Hey everybody, it's me, Lisa,
I'm Cryss.
and this is a Knit Sheep Knit and Crochet podcast, episode 28.
Are we sure?
Positive.
Okay, okay. Because I have no idea. I just want to be very clear about that. Like, she could tell me any number. I'd be like, word? I don't know what episode
Make
we're
it
on.
72 then.
Okay.
I like 72.
It's episode 72 now. It means nothing. Star date 6750.6. Just whatevs.
You know what? I'm going to learn how star dates work.
They don't. They're not. They're made up.
Oh,
But there is now
darn.
an official keeper of the star dates who maintains the chronology.
Oh, great.
But the numbers are really just totally random.
Oh.
Yeah. I was wondering about that myself.
That would have been a fun way to do it on star date. Hey, moving along, since we're both Trek nerds and now people know that.
Yeah.
What do you got going on this week?
I'm almost finished with my little two-piece outfit. I had a whole ball of yarn left, but then added some stuff. So now I don't have a whole ball left. I thought I was going to be able to make like a little bag or something to go with it, but we're not doing that anymore. Now it's just going to be an outfit. What are you doing?
I'm just looking for something. Go ahead.
Okay. Something you could have looked for before we started filming?
Yeah, maybe.
I can't. I just can't take the stress sometimes. Okay. This is my skirt. I added like an actual like waistband because it was kind of loose.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of like having that tiny little bit of horizontal though.
Yeah.
That's working for me. So it's kind of wrinkled because I done had it stuffed in this tiny little bag. But that's my skirt. And then my top. See, here's the thing with the top. Like it was fine. It was just a little like bandeau, but I put it on. There was like a lot of stomach happening. And, like, I just like to show less stomach. I'm not opposed to showing stomach at all, but I like to keep it to, like, no more than, like, 2.5 inches.
Okay.
And this was, like a full, like, 5 inches of stomach.
Like a little band,
So, I added a little edging at the bottom.
Yeah, I think that
cute.
really made it special.
That's really working for me. So...
Now, was that the first edging you tried, or did you have to try a couple? Oh, I see.
Okay. I was originally going to do like a full-on peplum, but you know what? Peplums are a terrible idea to do in cotton. Cotton is just real heavy. Yeah. You don't want anything hanging off of you made out of DK weight cotton. Even a nice gas mercerized cotton, because that just affects texture. That does not make it any less dense. Mm-hmm. And I tried a ruffle, and again, it's so many stitches. It was heavy. So I was like, okay, let me just do a simple edging. And so I still did one that had like a little bit of open space in it.
Yeah.
And it's just the density is just not all cottony.
So you did every trick in the book to lighten the load a bit.
Yes. And so I think I'm going to do not like a full version of this, but maybe just some picots or something on the bottom edge of the skirt, just so that they both have a little trim happening. Mm-hmm. And that's about it. So this is like very, very close to being finished. It's like 95%.
Where did you land on the bow?
Oh, I just haven't done the bow yet.
Okay.
I didn't do the bow.
Okay, because I voted bow.
I have a jacket that I had in my closet that goes perfect with this outfit.
I saw the outfit.
Photograph it. I usually do a Me Made Monday post on my blog. I don't think I will get it. Oh, Jesus. I will not get this outfit photographed in time for this Monday because my photo studio, we have like some sort of large bird of prey stalking our backyard.
Yeah.
And it left like its prey in the backyard.
The leftovers anyway.
And now I'm like terrified and I don't want to go outside. So I don't know when I'm going to photograph this.
It's like they're paying rent. They're like, here, have some of this.
I don't know what it was when I saw it, but it's big. It's like, I don't know if it's edible, but it could feed some people because it's big. And we have a little shed in the back. It was on the roof of the shed. And like when I was passing by the glass door, it would see me and it would fly like very angrily from the shed to the tree and back, like it was like letting me know, like, nah, this is mine. And I'm like, no, that's yours. So we might not have a backyard anymore.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, because of the large bird of prey. Point being, I don't know when I'm going to get this photograph.
Okay.
But it goes really well with the jacket. And the jacket has like a matching pair of shorts. So I can wear the jacket with 2-piece, or I can wear the jacket and the shorts with just this top, or, you know, I can mix and match. And because it's very important to me that the things that I make go with my existing wardrobe, because I'm trying to make clothes that are in the style of things that I already wear. That's why, like, you don't see people, crocheters and the baubles. Don't ask me why, but it's a thing. You won't see baubles on my crochet for the most part. I think I have like one thing I did with baubles, because I don't buy baubles. So why would I make baubles? I don't. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I want my clothes that I make to look, you know, to complement my existing wardrobe. So I was really, really happy when I just pulled the jacket out of the closet and it totally went with this outfit.
Yeah.
So
it went absolutely great, actually.
That's my current whip that is almost finished. And then I guess I'll probably going back to my silk dress and try to get that finished, because I'm almost finished with the front and then I have to start the back.
Wow. Okie dokie. I'm so happy the bow is still coming.
I think yeah, I'm gonna do the bow.
Well, last week I was telling you guys about this new to me anyway, join that I found in a free pattern that's called the Bifrost scarf. Actually, just called Bifrost, and it's by Kate Carter Evans. You can find it for free on Ravelry.
Bifrost.
I believe.
Bifrost.
Okay, it's either Bifrost or Bifrost.
Do you want to put it on the screen? Bifrost.
Yeah. Oh, you meant the word. Okay. Yes. I was going to show them the picture. There we go. See the Bifrost or Bifrost? Because I don't know if that's English.
Okay.
But while I did that, let me show you guys the scarf too if you want to make one. It's really cute. It's a bias knit, really easy. It would be a great place to dump a bunch of mini skeins.
When is mini skeins made me think of it? When is Wool Walk?
Oh, Wool Walk starts on Saturday. So the week you guys are seeing it, Wool Walk will have already started.
We have to figure out which stores we're going to.
Definitely.
We have done like no confabbing about Wool Walk, and we really need to figure out like what we're doing.
Okay, so it is called the Clasp Weft Join, and there's a tutorial for that in the pattern itself. So
where can they find the pattern?
It's free and it's on Ravelry. It's a free Ravelry download. So our crocheters out there, there's no reason you couldn't do this join too.
Yeah, I saw that same thing. It was funny when you mentioned it, because I saw that same thing in a YouTube video recently, and I was thinking about it because I felt like for crochet I might be limited by my yarn weight. I feel like it'll work better at lighter weights than it would at a chunky weight.
That was the thing we were wondering about last week, but last week I really got into gear on my vest.
She did. Oh my gosh.
And this is in a chunky yarn. So I've been doing this all along. It's something to try. If you don't like how it looks, don't do it. But even at a chunky weight, at least for a knitter, it just isn't a problem. I'm trying to find a spot where I join, but you get to cut the thread off so short that it's actually hard to find it. And that was what convinced me that this would work even at a chunky weight. But here I am. I started this on, I want to say, April 8th. And this is how far I've gotten. I got the back done, the ribbing at the bottom. And, I like how it's looking. Okay, I do. And I got the first front done. And hopefully this afternoon, I'll get to work on the second front. And once that's done, there's just like, there's some finishing work to do. Because I'll be picking up stitches along here because there is an edging.
Is it ribbing?
Well, along the neckline that's ribbing, and on the sleeves, it's small stitch. So it's going to be very cute. And it has like a graduated ribbing, not ribbing, but moss stitch on the edge. So there's going to be some short rows in there. So I just love that it has these little details that are really neat. See, I have it actually inside out right now. So let me turn it over. Oh yeah, here's a spot. And I didn't clip these ends yet. So once I'm done, I'm just going to clip these ends off. And as you can see, there's nothing much to see there. And this is working for me. I'll be doing that all the time. So what I wanted to show you though is that I am actually knitting this on the reverse side. The reverse stockinette side is actually the outside. And it just has these sweet little details. So up the center of this vest, there is that nice line of knit stitches. There's a set that are kind of laying down sideways along the bottom. And when I pick up the stitches to work the edging along the sleeves, I'm going to have like a line of these stitches outlining the sleeve. So I just like the way things are just outlined. And the same is going to happen around the neck. And that's already started happening around the neckline. So I'll be picking up my stitches in such a way that I leave these kind of laying flat. And what am I doing this in? I'm doing this in Universal
Chunky
Deluxe Chunky. Stop that. You know what? She's done that so many times. I have to really think, what is this yarn really called? Every time I have to say it. So, loving it. Absolutely loving it. It's a cropped vest. Let me see if I can hold it up so you guys can see the length. I did add 1 inch to the length, but that's it. Because I'm a little long in the torso, so I gave it a little bit of length. And I am actually knitting the size number 6. But yeah, so far, I'm loving it. The pattern is so well done. That's the issue. The pattern is so well done that even places where I made adjustments, they were just simple to make because I had all the information I needed. And that's really what I want from a pattern. Just tell me what I need to know so that if I need to adjust something, I can adjust it myself without a lot of drama. I'm using a 6.5 millimeter needle.
You didn't need a 7.
I certainly didn't need a 7. I don't know why that gives you such joy, but
you were crazed. It was like the weirdest thing.
I had a moment. I was like, I felt very thwarted, and I really hate feeling thwarted. I was like, why, Lord? Why? I have every other needle under the sun. Oh, this is the back. And it has another line of stitches going up the center. Love the simple little details. I'm already planning what to wear with it. I have pink pants, you know. I do. Oh, and I did a sketch. So one of the things I advocate for is visualizing the stuff you're making on you. It's one thing to see a pretty picture of it on a model, but I need to see it on me. Because I hear that from people when we were in the store. I would hear that from people that, oh, it looked great in the picture, but I didn't like it on me. So one of the ways I visualize, I didn't bother to color this one in yet, but I will color it. One of the ways you can visualize something on you is I bought a body model from this company called My Body Model. It's just a little silhouette of you. You have to measure yourself and put in all your measurements. Oh, yeah, that's Crystal's blog. Go take a look. All the pictures are there. And you can then draw yourself a little picture of what you plan to wear it with. And this is just like one of my options. I might do some others. I don't know. But really, really like it. And that way I could see the thing on me. And that's before I even knit a stitch. You can do that and decide, oh, well, you know, I liked it on the model. Looked great on her. But I don't think it's going to look great on me. Or, yes, that'll look fabulous on me. But that's what I've got. That's really what I've been working on. My socks are in hibernation a little bit because I've been devoting all of my knitting time to cranking out my vest. And I've been literally getting applause from Crystal. She's like, yeah, you go, girl, do it.
This is the fastest she's ever made anything. I'm so excited.
So I've decided from now on I'm going to make cropped sleeveless
in a chunky weight.
In a chunky weight.
Okay.
But I already know what the next thing is. So I have a pip this week. We're going to make that happen. Yes. What is
it's
it?
It's a project in planning.
Yes, it's a project in planning.
So this is before you start, but you're putting together your resources. You're choosing your yarn. You're choosing your stitch pattern. If it's something you're designing yourself, you're just planning what it's going to be so that you have all of that in place when you want to start it.
So my first step on that is going to be doing a sketch, because I already kind of know what yarn I want to use. So it's that shirt from the Noro Magazine, the cardigan actually, that they did in Ashinabe. Was it what?
Oh yeah, that's cute.
Yeah, I really liked it. But it turns out the yarn they did it in, that paper and linen one, it's an Aran weight.
Yeah.
Once again, kind of aspirational, because...
But I don't think it's going to be hot.
I don't know if it'd be hot, but I feel like it'd be a little heavy. I don't
know how paper breathes. The linen will be fine.
But Aran weight in the summer, I don't know. I don't know. But the yarn I plan to make it out of is going to be a DK weight. And I also liked very much the other one from the front of the book. So this is what I'm going to be making in Barocco Chai. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of adjusting because I'm drastically changing the weight of the yarn. But it's such a simple shape that I don't think I'm going to have too much trouble. And I'm kind of also jumping ahead to the next thing after that, because I saw this and I kind of fell in love.
Interweave, when they published Interweave Crochet, because you know they stopped, right?
Oh, Lord.
They used to do like a kind of photo index of everything in the magazine, so you go to the back and you can see all the patterns on one page. And I like that. I wish everybody did that. Like, especially since they're not using it anymore, everyone else should feel free to steal that, because it's very convenient.
I'm thinking I might do one of these.
Hey, I'm doing one of those.
Okay. You have my permission. You may. I like it though. I was like, yeah, I like that too. Wow.
I'm just saying, I feel like you have a lot of options in there. You could do a thing that I'm not doing.
Wow. It don't gotta be like that.
That's what I'm saying.
It don't gotta be like that. But all right. Stingy.
A little. I don't consider that an insult.
I know you don't. I know you don't. So what else you got going on?
Just my sewing project. I should finish up my skirt. Hopefully I will finish it today, maybe.
Oh la la.
Because I want to start my next thing. I'm going to make a pair of shorts out of a skirt that I thrifted. It's really, really pretty fabric. There's a post on my blog.
CrochetCryss.com.
Mercy. But I call it PIP Thursday, Project and Planning Thursday. So on Thursdays, I generally talk about things that I have coming up. So you can see the fabric and the pattern that I'll be using to make my shorts. And it's a really lightweight material. And so it'll be perfect for summer. It'll be very comfortable to wear. And it will be the first thing that I'm doing that will be lined. And it's the first thing that I'm doing that will have pockets. I have grave concerns. I do. I'm just like, oh, is this a good idea? But we're just gonna see what happens. That's what we're gonna do.
Absolutely.
We're just gonna see what happens, because I really want to make these shorts. They're like just super basic shorts. They have an elastic waistband. But I fell in love with the fabric as soon as I saw it. It's like a very rich, burgundy kind of color that has this gold patterning on it, and then a wide gold band across the bottom edge. And so I'm going to preserve that gold band across the bottom edge of the shorts. And I think they're going to be really, really pretty if I don't, screw them up.
Oh, it'll be fine.
It's entirely possible because I don't know what I'm doing. And let me tell you, the instructions in Simplicity Patterns are a prank. They are really just straight clowning you. It's their instructions are kind of like a crossword puzzle where they just put clues, but you're supposed to fill in what the actual instruction is. I feel like that's what their instructions are like.
7-letter word that starts with Q.
Yes. So thankfully I will have my mom coaching me, because otherwise, if it was just that one piece of paper in there, I'd be crying right now.
Oh no.
If that was like my only help that I had, it's just like, forget it. But yeah, so hopefully I can start my shorts tomorrow. Last night I just cut out the pattern pieces, and I really hate the tissue paper. I really do. I'm gonna have to get some paper and start tracing my pattern pieces, because having used the printer paper and just how sturdy that is. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like it.
I bet it works better with your pattern weights too.
I pinned actually. Because I have to get more pattern weights. I bought a few, and the thing is, they came in like a little 4-pack, and that's not enough. No. So I bought 2 4-packs. I only have 8 weights, but I'm not going to buy like official pattern weights, because if you buy something called a pattern weight, it's very, very pricey. So I think I'm just going to buy, like, I'm going to go to a hardware store and just buy like some large washers or something.
Or fishing weights.
Something that is not called a pattern weight. So I can get a lot of them for a little bit of money, because when you call it like an official thing, they play you with the price.
Yep.
So, which is why I only have 8 pattern weights. But yeah, I really like a nice sturdy pattern. And I don't know, I guess, the tissue paper is inexpensive, and it folds up easily. And so I guess if you're mass producing this, I see why that makes sense. But I don't think it's great for working with.
And I don't think that tracing the pattern is going to be any less tiresome than cutting the pattern out. If you've ever trimmed a pattern, you know how tiresome it is to cut that all out, gather up all that paper when you're done, and then, heaven help you, try to fold it up and get it back in the envelope again. I used to do that for Mom. I used to refold Mom's patterns because she couldn't get them folded.
I always think I folded it right, and then it still doesn't want to go in the envelope. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what's happening here? It's just, yeah.
What tailors do is they use like a heavier weight paper, and they keep it like hung up on pants hangers.
Because that makes sense.
You look like you're not even looking forward to it. Like, nah.
It's okay. It's okay. These are the things that go along with sewing.
Yes.
Did I mention my standing desk? I don't know if I talked about it in the last video.
No, I don't think you did.
I'm sewing it. This skirt, I've sewn the whole thing at a standing desk, and I like it. I have like a little anti-fatigue mat. I think I mentioned it. I mentioned that the mat was slipping because I have it on the carpet.
Oh, I think you did.
So I'm going to have to just do something about that. But sewing at a standing desk is working for me. I'm not hunching over, and it's actually like super comfortable. So I think this might be how I sew now.
Okay. You found a way.
But like my desk is just kind of like in a little spot, and I put my sewing machine on it just like to see how it would work. Now I have to create my little sewing space now that I've decided I'm going to use a sewing desk. So we'll see how that goes. But I like it. And I'm glad I figured this out like early in my sewing.
Yeah. Before you injured your back?
Yes.
Now, how do you find pressing the presser foot while standing?
It's fine. It's not an issue at all.
Cool. So I've been doing a tiny bit of sewing too.
Oh.
I told you guys, I was clearing out some old stuff that I had in the workroom, and I found these headbands that I was working on. They were all pinned and ready to go anyway. So while my niece was here, I just sewed them up. So I'm wearing one today. As you see, I like a headband with a bit of drama to it. And I finished up this one. But I have one that I've been wearing for years that they just never quit. So all I did was I got some velvet ribbon, and that's the underpinning of the headband with the velvety side in. And I got some lace, some decorative lace trimming. I sew the lace to the headband base, and then I sew on the elastic in the back.
I was like, is the velvet elastic? Like, how is
No.
it stretching? But that's a different
Yeah,
fabric.
it's just the elastic that stretches. So you just measure it like ear to ear, wherever you like it to fall. And bingo, you got headbands. And I love them. And they were so small, I didn't even bother getting the machine out for it. I just sewed them by hand.
That's intrepid.
It's not intrepid.
I hate sewing by hand. I just sew the straps on my top by hand, and it's some of the ugliest stitches you've ever seen. And
no, my stitches aren't pretty, but they're secure,
challenging.
And you know what? This is on the underside, so
for me, it's not a big deal. There's going to be more hand sewing in my future, and I'm already like not happy about it. Like, I'm not happy now, and it hasn't happened yet. Just so it's clear.
You're pre-mad.
Yes, very much so.
Don't be pre-mad. That's not cool.
Very much.
Don't be pre-mad. But they're comfortable to wear. They do not slip. They don't pull my hair. So I have a couple more additions coming along. Did I bring my box? No, I don't have my box. So as I work them out, I will show them to you. But I'm just enjoying this little tiny bit of sewing.
We hit the thrift store again.
Oh, yeah.
Our niece was here, and I mentioned thrifting. She's like, oh, that would be cool.
I want to go thrifting.
Apparently, it was cool for exactly 10 minutes.
Yes.
She did not like the thrift store.
Yeah. She was just like, over it. She was like, oh.
Yeah, she said there was a smell. And as soon as we left, she was like, I really want to wash my hands.
Happily, we had some hand sanitizer in the car.
She had a very different experience from me in the thrift store, because I was like really excited. I was over like in the men's shirt area looking at like the 3X shirts, and so I was able to get like a lot of fabric, and I'm very excited about it. And I just picked up a few cute things, and I don't want to like get in the habit of just like running out to the thrift store and buying stuff. But
really you see how it could happen,
enjoy it. Oh my gosh.
You see how it could happen though?
But so the shorts that I'm sewing now are from thrifted material. I made my 2 camisoles, and I have plans to make other things. So I'm actually using the material. I'm just a little bit slower than I would like. I set aside like 2 days a week just for sewing, but I might add a 3rd day.
Okay.
Because I just want to like, use up my supply. The faster I make things, the faster I get to go shopping again. So I'm highly motivated.
Okay.
But it was a new thrift store. It was a new location of 2nd Avenue Thrift that just opened.
Yeah.
And so it was pretty like spiffy in there still, because like they had just opened over the weekend.
And it was well lit.
Yes.
And all of their stores need to do that. Just get some more lights. All those lamps people donate? Plug them in. Put a bulb in them.
I don't think anyone's doing that.
I mean, just do something, because the lighting made all the difference. Although most people weren't wearing a mask, we were.
And it turns out they were really trying to charge some money for men. Now, here's the thing. Some of the things in there like are new. I'm not sure where they're getting stuff from there, but they had tags on them. I got a 100% wool sweater that had tags on it. I don't think it had ever been worn. So some of the like their prices are a little high on some things. So I was looking at the men's shirts, and it turns out the long sleeve shirts are more expensive than short sleeve shirts. So tip, shop the short sleeve shirts, because they're about half the price of long sleeve shirts, but they'll be the same material, cotton or cotton blends. And, if you buy a large size, you'll get a lot of fabric still.
You know what was very surprising to me? That you could find natural fibers in the men's clothes so much easier than you can find them in women's clothes. As a woman, if you're trying to find natural fiber clothing, you're going to pay a grip for it, if you can find it at all. And I was very surprised that was where the natural fiber investment
and
was
a
going.
lot more.
You found linen. You found cotton.
I did. Well, the linen was a woman's garment. It was a skirt. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that was my coup. That was like the thing I was most excited about.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. I don't understand how they're pricing things because it's definitely not by the material. So the men's shirts are really expensive, but I got a 100% linen skirt for $4.29.
Yeah.
And I forget what size it is. I think it's like a size 20, and it's a full length skirt. It's meant to be like ankle length. So I have a nice amount of linen fabric that I am like so excited about. So the racks are completely disorganized. There's no order. There's no rhyme or reason. So you just got to pick through, and hope to find things. One of the problems I had though with women's clothes is almost everything has stretch in it.
Yeah.
And that's not what I'm looking for. I was looking for some woven fabrics.
Mm-hmm.
And so I need to spend more time in the thrift store. Like I told my mom and my sister that what we need to do is just pack some food, go in the store. When we need a break, come out to the car, eat, take a breather, and then go back in. Really need to make a day of it. Because I need to like really look and dig. Everything is just, it's a jumble. And if you're not comfortable with that kind of chaos, the thrift store will not be for you.
Honestly, that one, I don't know if it was because it was only open for 4 days. They had things separated. So they did have, it wasn't like super, but at least all the shirts were together. You know, they tried to do like t-shirts in one area, dresses, but after that, you have to literally look at every single solitary piece.
Yeah. It takes some hunting.
I was excited though. The only thing I found was that wool sweater. I was like, it's wool! It's wool!
Like she just went to it like a magnet. It was the weirdest thing. I didn't see, I had looked on that rack and I didn't see it. And somehow she was like, this is 100% wool. I was like, where did that come from? She and her wool, man. Like, now it's a woolly wool. I soaked that thing to within an inch of its life. I put it in some eucalyptus. I think I had it soaking overnight. And it does feel a little bit better. Because when I first touched it, it was like, oh, it was scratchy.
When I felt it, I didn't even see it at first. I was like, that feels like wool. And then I pulled it out because it was like mixed in.
She got some sense of wool over here. It's fine. But it's a cute sweater. I'm looking forward to making something out of it. Why I got it is because I wanted to experiment with trying to make something out of, this knitted fabric. I'm trepidatious, but hopeful. I'm thinking to make like a little 2-piece outfit out of it, but I don't know. We'll see. But I was really, really excited about my trip to this, like ridiculously excited, really, about my trip to the thrift store.
Yeah, our niece wasn't down after 10 minutes, but she indulged us.
She did. She was very patient.
Yes, and she just patiently waited it out.
And then we took her to McDonald's.
Yeah.
So she was happy in the end. Yeah. And Lisa and I got slushies and I nearly killed myself.
Yes. Oh my God.
The first sip of the slushie, I had pulled into a parking space because we went through the drive-thru, and then I pulled into a parking space so we could just, have our drinks. And I'm so glad I did, because if I had been driving when I took that first sip, because this eye felt like it was about to pop out.
We both got brain freeze. I was like, oh. So she's in the front going, oh, and I'm in the back going, oh.
So the moral here is do not drive while drinking a slushie.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Brain freeze is real.
But yeah, it was a nice day. It rained a little bit, but I will always have fun shopping. It doesn't matter where I shop. It doesn't matter how much I spend. I enjoy, like, I could shop at Dollar Tree or Saks. It doesn't matter. Like, I enjoy the act of shopping.
Yes, indeed. Yes, you do.
And I'm just looking forward to turning my things into new things. Because I really feel like this is going to work for me. Like, turning thrifted stuff into new clothes, because fabric, the Fabric Store Mood has a blog. It's called Mood Society, SEW Society. And they have a ton of free patterns there. So I'm kind of haunting their blog. And sometimes I look at the fabric they have for sale as well. And it's expensive. And nice. They have nice things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mood. They have beautiful fabric and just so many options. And you could really, hurt yourself financially if that's how you wanted to shop. They had a mystery box. And I hesitated and I was lost. The mystery box sold out. I was really curious about the mystery box, but I didn't know if I wanted to spend $50 and not know what I was getting.
Mm-hmm.
So I ultimately didn't buy it. Like I didn't buy it the day that I saw it, and then the next day they were sold out. But I might do a future mystery box. We'll see. That might be a more economical because they guarantee you 5 yards.
Okay, that's like $10 a yard. That's
you get notions too, so you get like some buttons and
seriously,
yeah.
I've been to Mood in New York, and the buttons alone can run you. You can buy buttons $20 a button.
Yeah, you get some notions in the box too, and it had been marked down because it was originally I think $70, and they marked it down to $50. So I should have got it, but oh well. But so I lust after fabric and fabric stores, but that's just not where I am right now in terms of my spending. So we're gonna make this thrifting thing work.
Yeah. And you know what? I think it's a good way to learn too, because since you're in the process of learning how to sew, you feel a lot more nervous cutting into super expensive fabric or even expensive fabric.
Would.
But if you got this fabric for $4, you'll be disappointed if the thing doesn't come out wearable.
Because my camisoles are janky, but I made 2 of them out of a $5 skirt.
Yeah.
So they can be janky. It's fine.
Yes.
And so I think definitely while I'm still building my skills and building my confidence, this is the way to go in terms of just practicing and learning.
Yeah. It's like when I first started knitting, I did not jump immediately into fancy yarn. When I first started knitting, I didn't even know if I was going to stick with knitting. So I bought some cute acrylic based on the color that I just loved. It was a beautiful raspberry color, and that's what I practiced on. And that's what I got some cheap needles from Michael's or somewhere, and I got some cheap yarn, probably the same place. And I was like, all right, let me see if I'm gonna like this. And I think that's a great way to start out. As a matter of fact, in the store, I had very inexpensive needles that I encourage beginners to buy when they wanted to just try out knitting, because there's no sense dropping $25 on a really nice pair of chow goose and then discovering I don't like this.
And especially knitting, you need all the needles.
So starting out on inexpensive materials, I think is a great way to go.
I feel like I didn't know if I was going to stick with sewing either, because I was such a stress case with my first project. It was insane. Yes. And if I had kept on that way, there's no way. There's no way. I'd have just had a meltdown. But it gets a little better with each project. It's still not good. I'm still really stressed out. But yeah, that's one of the things that alleviates the stress for me, knowing that I'm not, cutting into, Dupioni silk or something. So,
but next time we do go to the thrift store, I want to get some silk scarves.
Child, we can go Monday.
All right, cool.
I don't care.
I want to get some scarves because I want to do some scrunchies.
We can go whenever.
Because I'm down for the thrift store. And in my hair, that'll be just what I need.
Yeah, I wanted to look at scarves too. I have some plans.
Yep. Actually, Rachel and I were looking at scarves because she was, for whatever reason, she is like totally into Converse sneakers. And she was like,
everyone has that moment.
You think I can get some Converse here? And then I was like, these have been ever so slightly worn. She was like, oh. She didn't make the connection. Like, these don't look very clean. I only know what they can be cleaned.
Okay. They can be saved.
She wasn't really having it. She was like, yeah, let's not do that.
And she has no older siblings, so she ain't have no hand-me-down, nothing in her life. No. Everything is, pop them tags.
Yes, brand new.
She got her braces taken off today.
Oh, yeah.
And her father sent us a picture from the candy store where they went immediately after.
Yeah, because she has been longing for some gummy candies, and with her braces, she was not able to wear them, so to eat them. So today she went and she got her some gummy candy.
She's gonna buy some gummy candy by the sack.
Yes.
Hopefully she won't hurt herself. All right, let's try to get back on target here.
Okie dokie. What you got, kiddo?
Well, it's almost May. So Me Made Me is coming up. I wanted to ask you what you thought the Me Made Me challenge was.
Oh, I thought that people tried to wear something every day in May that they made.
That is what I thought too.
Oh, that's not what it is?
And Instagram gave me such a distorted view of what Me Made Me is. And that is why I wanted to talk about it, because I'm sure there are a lot of people who think that it's wear something handmade every day. And apparently it's not. So I just went to the blog of the woman who created it, and I should have had that ready. But I was just reading on her blog what Me Made Me actually is. And it turns out that it's just, she says it's just about changing your relationship with the things that you've made and making a point to work those things into your wardrobe. So it's not every day. She says if you just, because she was doing kind of like an FAQ, and one of the things people say is, well, I don't have enough things. And she said, if you just have one thing, that's fine. Just make a goal of wearing that one thing in May. And if you want to try to figure out different ways to wear that one thing.
Yeah.
But it's not every day. It's just setting aside the time for in this specific month to make sure you're wearing your things that you've made. And she said that it's not a making challenge. So you're not trying to make enough things to have 31 things for May. And it's not a photo challenge. So you don't have to post photos online if you don't want to.
Wow. Okay.
And I had it all like twisted.
Me too. That's what I thought it was.
I thought it was take a picture every day in May wearing something that you've made. And it is not. And I found that very interesting that Elise is always telling me that people aren't wearing the things they make. And I find that hard to believe. That you take that time to make like a sweater, a fingering weight colorwork sweater, and then you don't wear it. Although I do know people ain't wearing these shawls that they cranking out.
They're not. I wear my shawl more.
I don't know what that's about.
Let me tell you, every time it's chilly in the house, I pick up my color burst shawl and I wear it. And Mom's like, you know what? You can't wear that every day now.
But are people having this like challenging relationship with the things that they made? Because I find that my handmade things, the things that I'm making, like I said, I talked about it a little bit earlier about my 2-piece outfit. They're working very seamlessly in my wardrobe. And I guess part of what I do is I try to make the things that I like to wear. Like I don't just make something like, you know, sometimes you pick a project because you want to learn a specific skill.
Yeah.
But it still has to be a thing that I want to wear. Like it's not going to be, oh, I just want to learn the skill. So now I'm going to set this aside and then maybe make something I actually like. It is always my priority to make the things that I want to wear. So I was very surprised that someone decided to like try to put a focus on this and emphasize this, because I just assumed you make a thing, you wear everything.
No. And you know that's not true, because we've seen people come into the store over and over again buying yarn, and then you never actually see them wearing anything. I mean, nothing. People make piles of shawls and make sweater after sweater.
But what is it? What is it that keeps people from wearing the things that they make?
You know what? In knitting world, there's a conversation, and I don't know if it's the same conversation in crochet world. So let us know if it is. There are project knitters and process knitters, and some people enjoy the process of knitting. It doesn't actually matter what they're making.
See, when you say that, I'm confused. How does it not matter? Because of the hours you put in.
It doesn't matter.
Of course it matters.
They like the actual act of knitting.
I like crocheting too. Mm-hmm. Thank goodness, because, you know, it does take a while to make a thing.
Yeah.
But I still have the goal of, having that finished thing to wear. Wearing is my motivation for crocheting.
Not everybody, not for process knitters. They are enjoying the process of knitting. And other people are project knitters. And neither one for neither one, the goal has to be wearing the thing. Because some people want to just complete this project. And I know I've done this. I have taken on a project because I got interested in learning a particular skill. And honest to goodness, I'll tell you, in years past, once I learned the skill, I wasn't even interested in the project anymore. So I may not finish that thing. Yeah, I didn't need to finish a thing because I was, and then I realized, but I didn't realize I was doing that for a long time. I realized, wait a minute, I just wanted to learn that skill. So now when I choose something like that, because I want to learn a skill, I'll choose something I want to use rather than just something where that skill is prominent. And I had to learn how to choose projects that didn't have me have to learn 5 new skills in order to do, because, by the time you get to the 3rd or 4th one, you're a little tired. So yeah, there's people out there who are doing that. And if you're doing that, hey, tell us about it.
I was just going to say, let us know, like, do you wear your things? Like, do you participate in Me Made May? And did you think you were supposed to wear something Me Made every single day?
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought the challenge was.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's why I never participated in Me Made May.
Exactly, because I was like, I don't have enough. I think I could do 31 days now.
Yeah, you probably could do it now.
But now I know I don't have to.
Yeah, and doesn't that free you up, though?
It does.
Doesn't that free you up?
It was a lot. It was weighing on me. So let us know what your concept of Me Made May was. And now that you know it's not 31 days, are you more likely to participate?
Oh, I'm definitely more likely to participate because I'm going to be wearing my headbands. What? I am. I'm going to be wearing my headbands. I was showing Rachel how to make roses out. I have these. I've had these. What do they call the quilt strips?
Oh, the jelly rolls.
Yes, I've had some jelly rolls for a while, and I was like, "Girl, you don't quilt. What you gonna do with these jelly rolls?" And I'm gonna be making headbands out of them because they're great. They're really great. They're cut already. Mm-hmm. They are a great width, and
one jelly roll though is going to give you like a year's worth of headbands.
Oh no, I'm not gonna make all headbands out of it, but I'm gonna do like rosettes and that kind of thing. So I was practicing different rosette forms and showing Rachel how to do it. She was like, "Oh, that's cool." Rachel is an artist, our niece, so she takes to any kind of like making process. I'm like, "All right, boo, let's make some flowers out of these, so we can make headbands that coordinate." So I can be doing that for Me Made May. And it doesn't matter what you make, right, as long as it's something you made.
Right.
So if you make bags, if you make pins, if you make whatever. You know what? That's the other thing. I once had somebody, I was working on some socks in the office, right? And a friend of mine came up to me and goes, "Lisa, what are you making?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm making some socks." And I held them up. And she said to me, she goes, sometimes when people say they're making something and you ask them what it is, they tell you, you're like, "Oh."
Little Rorschach test.
Yeah.
Happening, right?
But when you say you're making something, you can see it. And I'm like, if you went through the trouble of making the thing, I say use the thing and make it something to be used. That's the other thing people do. And I've had people complain about that when they make like a beautiful little blanket or a little sweater and hat set for a baby. The parent doesn't use it.
Because it's like a precious
thing. It's
the
good thing, yes.
Yes.
So they put it away in the heirloom chest and it's never touched the baby.
Because babies are always spewing. So if you want to protect that item.
From one end or the other. Yes.
So I kind of get that, but the maker and the receiver just view this item in two different ways. Yeah.
Because what cheers a maker's heart is getting a little picture of the baby wearing the hat or wearing the little sweater or wrapped up in the blanket. It's like, yes.
Our mom is in like a Facebook group for crocheters, and they're always posting the things that they make. A lot of people post things that they make for their grandkids, and some of the things they do to their grandchildren ain't right. But so you got to get it on them while they're too young to complain.
Or some of them, let me tell you, grandmas out there are not playing around. Okay, baby says he wants to be a predator for Halloween.
Alien. He was the alien.
Was he the alien or the predator?
He was alien.
He was the alien.
I think someone did do a predator face
I
though
think
out
so.
of crochet.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a really good alien crochet suit someone made. You know, the big long head and there's a tail, and it was legit. It was legit. Like, Grandma is a crochet boss.
She is. I'm like, whoa, that is some boss level crochet. And the kid was like, just excited.
I hope it wasn't acrylic though.
Probably was. He was warm though. Warm. But yeah, Mime Bay is an interesting idea because people don't get into the relationship of useful object with some of the things that they make. And I think that that's something that's missing from crafting. And I'm always looking at the economic side of crafting. So a lot of crafters don't need the things that they're making. Don't need them at all. So it doesn't matter whether or not they get used.
Buy less clothes now.
Yeah, me too.
That's the funny thing. Like, I look long and hard at a sweater now in a store because sweaters are still the thing I'm like most confident making. I just feel like I understand the construction of sweaters best, better than most things. Mm-hmm. And sweaters get hard side-eye for me because it's hard for me to buy it when I'm like, I could totally make that. I was just going through my phone last night, as a matter of fact, because I collect pictures of, crochet inspiration. I may have a post on my blog about it. We're not going to talk about it, but I have a
crochetcryss.com.
Oh my God. Because sometimes I photograph things in movies and TV shows. Mm-hmm. And so like I'll pause and take a really terrible picture, but it's just enough to remind me of what it was that I saw. And sometimes when I'm at stores or I'm on different websites, I will also just take a picture of something I've seen because I'm like, oh yeah, I want to style something like this, or I want to make a sweater, with these features. Mm-hmm. So I was just looking through my phone last night and I have a lot of these that I've collected, and I'm like, I really need to get on this. I need to start making some of these things because I just don't have the motivation to buy them because I know that I can make them.
And the one you'll make it out of better materials. It's gonna look better. It's gonna wear better.
You can customize it. You can choose your colors. I buy less clothes now. It's just like I just do.
And the time you invest in them, it just makes it more valuable to you. I mean, I'm not going to say that you're going to start doing this, but I'm just saying you're going to start doing this. You're going to start mending things.
I don't know. I was thinking about that.
You're going to start mending things because if you invested the time to actually sew a garment, even if it's a garment you made out of another garment, and you enjoy wearing it, and it's only a little something off with it, you're going to start mending.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Just the idea you started thinking about it, I see it coming on.
No, I honestly don't know. I was thinking the other day about that. I was like, well, should I be like mending and altering things now because I'm sewing? But I just kind of tucked that away.
Because after a while, what's going to happen? And it's so funny because remember the lady Renee who would come into the store who made those beautiful coats? That was one of the things she said that really stuck with me. She said once she really started sewing her own garments, she noticed more when things didn't fit the way that she wanted them to. She said when she put on her own handmade garment, she put it on and forgot about it. There was no pulling or tugging or adjusting constantly like we do with off the rack clothes that don't quite fit. And I think that's the point where you get to when you're not only crocheting your own garments, but also sewing your own garments, because now everything can be fixed. And I have a book about mending if you want to take a look.
I'm sure. I was looking at the sewing books last night. She got like the most oddball collection of books because I was looking for something that might tell me how to like start basically kind of like drafting. But I really want, how like in crochet and knitting you have a schematic that just gives you the outline of the garment. I was looking for something that might tell you just like the basic shapes for making standard garments, for like making a t-shirt or making a pair of trousers or what have you.
Right.
And she didn't have anything like that. But goodness gracious, she had some real specific stuff. She has books specifically about just like altering clothing, and she had books. She has a real interesting collection of sewing books. A lot of stuff for making home items, and it was unexpected. So I didn't find exactly what I was looking for, but I didn't. It wasn't exactly what I needed at the time, but it's real specific knowledge. Like, she had several books on tailoring, and I'm not up to tailoring yet. She had several books on tailoring. She had books on altering. She had books on mending. It was just like, these are books I don't know that I would even have noticed, like, if I was shopping for sewing books. But I'm looking more for like basic construction.
Yeah.
But she was getting up in the nitty gritty.
Because you know what? I sewed as a teenager, and I sewed for years. So I had the nitty gritty, the basics already. So I was looking into more specific information.
Specificity.
I feel judged.
It's what she had.
If you have any recommendations for good basic sewing books for this one right here, let us know in the comments, please. Because apparently that's what somebody's looking for.
It is. Just the basics.
You know what? How about Sandra Betzina's book, Sewing Savvy? And there should be. I also have the sequel, More Sewing Savvy.
More Sewing Savvy. Yes, all the savvy.
But that's the one that would have basics in it.
But you had a lot more like technique books.
Yeah.
And I was looking for.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm the same way with my knitting books. After I got over the pretty pictures in the pattern books, that most of the patterns did not come in my size. I have so many pattern books upstairs where 90% of patterns are not written for me. I realized, oh, hon, you're gonna have to figure out a way to make these things work. So I find that if you're gonna limit your investment in books, put your investment towards techniques, because you can do more with them rather than worrying about this one pattern over here. You can learn the techniques to work with whatever pattern you want to work with. And when I was sewing, most sewing patterns stopped at, if I was lucky, size 16. If I was not so lucky, it was 12 or 14. And I hadn't been a 12 or 14 since I was 12 or 14. So, I always had to look into how to alter, how to fit, how to, and I'm pear-shaped. Mm-hmm. And things are not built on pear-shaped models. They're built on either straight up and down models or more balanced figures. So if your hips and shoulders are about the same width, most clothes are made for you. My shoulders are much narrower than my hips. I look like I have a smaller waist because my hips flare out so much.
People pay good money for that.
They sure do. But in fitting clothes, it makes things difficult. Like, I always have a gap in the back of my pants. Mm-hmm. But so I needed to learn how to fix that so that I wasn't always pulling my pants up or out or down or what have you.
I think knowing which direction to pull them might have helped too.
Yeah, but it depends
you're pulling every which way.
It depended on the pants. And when that low rise thing was happening, Lord help me.
Lord,
help me.
If we have to do another low rise rant.
I'm still mad about it.
Clearly.
Because they're on their way back,
I don't think so.
Watch.
I think high-waisted has become a thing now. Everybody's into the high-waisted.
Yeah. Because they were all traumatized by the low rise.
I don't think people were traumatized.
5-inch rise. Ha!
Okay.
Anyway.
Way on.
You got anything else for today?
I don't know. I think that's it.
I think we're done. Oh my gosh. Look at us. In an hour. Thank you for spending the time with us, by the way. Like I said, if you have any comments, let us know. Also, did I tell you guys I'm teaching a class at Vogue Knitting on May 14th? I am. You can sign up on the Vogue Knitting website. The class is called How to Work a Pattern, and it's all about how to approach patterns so that you're setting yourself up for succeeding from the get-go. And that includes knowing whether or not to even start that pattern. How to identify a clunker. Because it's terrible when you rip the thing out for the 5th time. It's like, I can't make this work. But anyway, thank you so much. Have a great week. Bye-bye.